Hey, you here to teach me some things? We got a problem there, David? Nah, it's patter. It's for them. We got a problem there? Nah, we got it's patter. We got a problem, David. It's for them. We got a problem. It's patter. Gonna teach me some things? No, you're gonna teach me some things. Who's gonna teach you? I'll teach you. You back off me. Right, you got a problem, David? It's patter. Dreams, making the killings like the fiends of pop dreams. It might seem like I'm conceited with the queen talk, but I got that kind of green like a Robert Supreme when we talk. The whole world listen. Turn your back to TS for 1 second and find your girl missing. Usted se me llevó la vida entera y el alma entera. Usted se me llevó la vida y el alma entera. Usted se me llevó la vida. Okay. It is June 29, 2021, 9:35 p.m. Tweetie voice. This is Tweetie. It's Tweetie time. 9:35 p.m. Here's what's going on in the world. Now hear this. Perspective, the Washington Post. Dan Crenshaw wants Gren Berry kicked off the Olympic team. How un-American. Why are certain politicians so triggered by black athletes' protests? Maybe ask them. WashingtonPost.com. Press 1 to read more. Press 2 for next clip. Get unlimited access to the Washington Post. Subscribe to continue reading. You can cancel anytime. The Washington Post. Why do you do that all the time? It's none of your business. You're going to start developing a syndrome. Like what? Crazy. Getting so crazy. Hearing your voice all the time. All the time. Tweet it. The world's first audio radio vocalizer. Radio vocalize social media tweets. Radio vocalize stories and breaking news. Radio vocalize daily breaking news clips, commentary, and comedy. That's significant. Substantial. Got a big dragon on Google.com. Pedro Lararis, happy 115th birthday there, old man. I shouldn't have said that. Why did I immediately just jump to that sort of like, he's an old man? I mean, it's not. Does it mean that I'm good and bad if I'm hardwired that way? Does that mean I'm a lesser person because I just like, my immediate reaction was to let me punk on this rather experienced gentleman? Pedro Lopez, old man, was a Mexican artist born in Mexico City, known as for his paper mache figurines named Alebrijes. Pedro Linares began his career as a maker of the effigies known as Judas figures, traditionally made of carton during the Catholic Easter season in Mexico, and by making figurines for Diego Rivera, Frida Kahlo, and other artists from the Academias de San Carlos and the Son School of Fine Arts in Mexico City. The mythical figures known as Alebrijes were created by Linares when he was 30, allegedly after he caught an illness. His own Alebrijes originated from a dream which depicted his death and rebirth in a mountain setting inhabited by these creatures. After his illness subsided, Linares began to materialize the vision, and the art of making Alebrijes was born. He wanted his family and others to know about the animals he dreamt of by taking a piece of paper and molding the figurines from his memory and then painting them as he saw them in his dream. Pedro Lijares, 100 and... I don't know, he's, how old is he? It says on Google 115th birthday. Right. Gotcha. But he says it died in 1992 on January 25th in Wikipedia. Same dude. Not really sure what's going on. Training. I mean, that's just like, I don't know. Like, brain fart. Does the math make sense? If he died in 92, let's say that we got about 30 years out. Oh, after somebody... Yeah, so after somebody... I don't know how you count that. Like, why would you count it 115 years? So if you go to Google.com right now and look at Pedro Linares, you will see that it says right on the page there, we'll take a screenshot of it. It'll say right there. You gotta cut this out. I'm about to burp, folks. When I'm doing this, like, for hours on end. Which I don't really do for hours on end. I just sort of go off the cuff and it. And I go for a couple of hours. No, I don't. I go for like 15, 20 minute spouts, and I take breaks, and I do another 15, 20 minute spouts. It's kind of like interval training. It's the same way that I start basically making these episodes, taping these shows, making these tracks, cutting them up, piecing them up, putting them together, putting them out there on the 3 channels. I got 3 channels with 2 more coming. For some reason, I got all into this like audio podcasting stuff 3 years ago. Never had the courage to actually launch, and then if I finally got the courage to launch and doing it, it's that thing, like you get inside your head, it's going to be tough to get out of it in a sense. It's like, but maybe it makes you stronger or better, or maybe it's the way everybody's supposed to be, aligned individually to what makes them center of attention to the everything. So I'm living for my wants and my needs at the same time, 50% adequately, without any sort of external influences or that are overbearing. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, if I even want that out there on the internet. But whatever. Everybody's got to learn sometime. I've learned plenty of times before, just like, but it feels like it's the right thing to do. And so I shall subentro. I don't know. I shall persist. Shout out to my dad. He was born in 35, I believe. His U.S. birth certificate said 1936, but I believe he said it was 35. He used to told me as like an inside joke. I said, I'm actually 1 year older. I don't know how that it was an advantage, because it was like making himself out to be younger, and then sort of denying himself of like, he wasn't gaining the year. He was going the other way. Right? He was saying he was older than he actually was. What? No, he was saying he was... No, he... he was actually born in 35, right? But his birth documents in the United States, I guess, when he basically kind of like came over or whatever from Italy, said 36. And so when he was like 74, he's like, well, I'm actually 75. Right? So if he was going to get Social Security benefits when you're 65, let's say, when he was 64, he's like, all right, that one more to go. He's like, well, I'm actually 65 now. Anyway, all right. Yo, it's 9:44 p.m., June 29, 2021. Tweetie. I don't know why I do that. I was just like coming up with an interesting name. I don't know how I settled on a name on the word Tweetie or Tweetie voice. It just sort of, I was screwing around. I guess that's cool not to know exactly the origination. I guess it was just sort of, the word voice I had. Right, I had the word voice and a couple of my other usernames and stuff. 9:45 p.m., June 29, 2021. So I had voice and some other stuff there. And I don't know why I do those seguitors. You call when you just go off on a tangent and come back. Like it's like you're taking a main path and the road is thick, like 10 feet wide. That's the road you're on. 10 feet wide. It can fit you basically twice, right? Pretty easy. Even like 11 feet. 10 feet's good. Because if it's 12 feet, then you can't see on the left and the right peripherally when you're going down like a bridge. That's something where people don't realize. Like if you actually get too much of something is a bad thing. Because if you're going down like a narrow path, any road, like even by yourself, if the road is actually way too wide, that's not good because you actually can't see peripherally. Meaning that somebody could have been chasing you out of your view for a while and even accelerating up on you. Versus if the thing was narrower, then you would, at least when you first hear of him, I think that's true. I think you can direct your hearing towards behind you while you're running away on a narrow strip. And by design, the like aeronautical mechanics of being down that narrow strip, that narrow whatever wood or alley, or really just like even like kind of like a road in a regular town, like because it's just narrow. If it's only 10 feet wide and you're running down it, so I don't know. It's kind of in my brain. I'm like running down this like 10 feet wide, and it's like I'm telling the main message whenever I'm delivering a show or an episode or going off a tantrum or a tirade or reading off Twitter tweets or reading off like just social media news articles everywhere, just reading anything off the internet. It's so much fun for me to amass it all so quickly because like I want to consume it all. And if you start consuming information the way information is being disseminated or the amount of it that you want to consume, the only way you would not want to consume so much at a certain level that I deliver it in a way that I would want to consume it, like the golden rule. So, and I can't find it anywhere. I wish somebody else was maybe helping me out of doing it. Feel free to go to tweetievoice.com and submit an article or something. Just say, maybe do one, send it over. I'll put it on. If you like my voice. I did that piece on Mel Blanc. That was like fortuitous. And I'm superstitious. I don't know why that thing popped up. I guess it popped up because I type in my Google in my profile, and because I've been typing Tweetie Voice like incessantly for the past 10 days. That finally like Mel Blanc came up in like a Google search, and that's why how I kind of found that article, and that's why I just did like a quick 2.5 minute blurb. I shouldn't call it blurb. I should really say like a salute to Mel Blanc, the 1,500 character founder of Voices, the voice actor. I feel I'm like you gotta have an old soul. So yeah. Whistleblower to Tucker, you're being monitored. Tucker Carlson just in. NSA refutes Tucker Carlson spying allegations. Says host has never been an intelligence target of the agency. The hell? And I like saying those little things like that. And I wish I could take it back. Glenn Greenwald, again, the inability to count votes directly. Again, the inability to count votes quickly in a way that inspires confidence, doing more to erode trust in U.S. democracy and the voting process than almost any other single factor. Twitter.com/B, capital O, capital E, capital N, capital Y, capital C, /status, capital / show this thread. Tweetie Voice. America's Got Talent. Leave it to our resident fashion superstar, Heidi Klum, to use her hashtag golden buzzer on Quick Change Artist at Leaky Magician, at Lee Kyle Magician, Leah Kyle Magician. Okay. Pele, keep your head up, Killian. Tomorrow is the first day of a new journey. Holler the hill. You can't F-dash-dash-dashing talk to me like that. Trump scripted Millie over the military crackdown on protest, book says. Hill.cm /7 makes R, capital RR. And so usually I would cut it right there, take a breather, find a new article, go again, don't let it run. Or you revert into this mode, which is just so sort of like riffing until you just do stuff till you find something else. So I got 3 podcasts going. I got the regular generic Tweetie Voice, then Tweetie Voice News, and now Tweetie Voice Raw and Uncut. 3 different podcast stations. I'm probably have 2 more. So looking for 2 more podcast stations. Feel free to write me at tweetievoice.com and let me know which podcast station. I don't think anybody will ever write to me or imagine like in 75 days after I publish this, I'll have like a lot of people being like, yo, check it out. Like, host your shit here is it's interesting. I have no idea. People have told me that I'm kind of cocky. I don't think it's on my face as much, but in my voice, I definitely can't hide that. So I got flamboyant. I enjoy that one. She owes me a ring too. The good kind. Tweetie Boys, 9:51 p.m. 11/11/6/29/2021. 11/11 says, 7/11 says, between Cloud, IGN, BBC News, and so that's how I started this journey. And I'm going like, I'm going to see, I guess in a nice way, I get to memorialize like my life out on the internet. And as long as I'm honest about it, I think things will go well for me. This has been Tweetie Voice. No, I mean, I don't know how to like call it. Like I am lazy and I just want to like go and like stop. And it's like there's a word for like being overly melodramatic and self-centered about yourself, egotistical, or just maybe like horrible. Maybe it's like this is the millennial risk. Or call it the millennial trade-off. Yeah, it's really difficult to like, I gotta sacrifice something. Following discipline and tradition, doing what's right and not doing what's wrong requires sacrifice. And if you don't build sacrifice into like a capitalistic model of like political, like social control, then it's wrong. Like there has to be giving. And actually, I do believe that you could just read Adam Smith's Wealth of Nations, and you don't need any other book. Adam Smith's Wealth of Nations is so dramatically fantastic that any great masterpiece is actually redundant as all hell, redundant as fuck. You could read like a 10-page snippet in any section of Adam Smith's Wealth of Nations, and every 10 pages, you derive the same exact point that he's trying to make at every 10 pages. It's like reading, imagine you had to, by hand, trace out a map of the entire Earth, the perimeter of the Earth. Like you actually had to fly out there, and then when you took a little 8x11 notebook piece of paper and cellophane, and you would have your little capsule, like an astronaut, you're out there on the Earth, and you're kind of like, you're stenciling. If you could stencil the outside of the Earth, right? As if there was like a thin film, like around the Earth, and you could just stencil it. 8x11, 8x11, all the way around. That's how the Wealth of Nations is. Adam Smith's Wealth of Nations. When I first read that, whenever I was, I've never said like where I'm from. I mean, it's hard to deny, I guess. You can either keep it like completely aloof or not, but you know, I guess if you heard it, now you know. It's hard to get away from that. And you know, and now should I go back and clip that, cut that out? I don't know if there's a version out there that hits the internet and it doesn't have the date, or then I think I'll eventually release this one anyway, and you'll see that I cut it out for a reason. Maybe I just want people to hear my voice. Like, why do I have to be from anywhere? Just like, what do I represent in my voice? Not where I'm from, what I'm about. No, what it should all be what I'm about. And I can, I'm not going to be perfect. You can tell when I'm rattling off a lot of those articles really fast. First of all, I enjoy it, but getting back to that, that's why I want information fed into my brain that quickly. 9:55, 6:29. We'll go like 5 more minutes then. We'll call this a wrap, an episode. So if you got to take a pee, we'll go 5 more minutes. That's the way I want information coming into my head, man. I've always wanted it that way. And it's such a struggle to get it. I don't like reading it. How else do you get information in your head? Great movies is you can watch about 90 minutes, 100 minutes, and you learn so much that life changes you. Basically, you take an emotional ride on a great movie, and by the end of the movie, you can kind of, after watching it, model your life after what you felt during watching that movie. That's why movies to me were always great. But I guess I'm just not the most, I'm no no Brad Pitt. I guess maybe that was why I made that clip, episode 12, with Moneyball and Brad Pitt. I mean, that was I love that with David Justice. I always thought that was funny. I mean, I'm that's the kind of stuff that I love, that I like. So I think it's fair to say that, I love, up on my wall I have George Carlin. My mother made me put up my 2 degrees. I love the portrayment of the Joker, right, in The Dark Knight by Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger. Not cool that I would insult his name, because he's Heath Ledger. He's up on my wall. I think probably one of the largest, the only largest size you could have gotten of him is the Joker. He's riding around in the car, and I love it. At some point, people have seen that, and I'm sure it'll get out on a YouTube clip at some point. And then I have Philip Seymour Hoffman. I shouldn't say I'm very, is the word didactic. I'll try to be very accurate and correct. I don't think there's anything wrong with being accurate and correct in life. I think we should all strive to be accurate and correct. I think we should all strive to go out of our way, not to be so clumsy. I mean, every once in a while being lazy is okay, but every once in a while you gotta sort of lift up your pants. I see politics the same way. I see good parts of the Democrats and good parts of Republicans. When I was born and raised, we were sort of born and raised to ignore what's bad in somebody. You make fun of what's bad, and then you cherish what's good about them. That's how you dealt with people. So it's. I was going to repeat it. It's we focus on the good, and we sort of ignore the bad, but you call the bad out. You call the bad out, and then you sort of it's like taking a bag or something and just kind of or a pillow and just kind of propping up a pillow. When you talked about somebody's bad sides, and when you're honest about sort of people about what we're doing, who we are, and we're interacting with each other, if we do that, I think maybe from a emotive or completely emotional in our voices and our expressions and how we effectuate it and how we want to communicate and how we want information coming into our brains. I think it's a freedom of speech right to have information coming into your brain a certain way, the way that you should get it. Why should the rate of flow of information be censored? The speed of information is I want to learn and I want to educate myself. However quickly I want to go should be limited by my brain and not by anything outside of it. And right now, I can't get information in a way where I don't feel that I'm censored or inhibited. I don't feel uninhibited, right? I definitely feel like that I've been capped. Not that I'm watched. I just can't get it in an intelligent, pre-packaged or post-packaged way. And that's why I already said I love George Carlin. I think there's a lot of it. And it's been a journey for me. He had a good 10 years when he was alive, and from the 90s. I love that very much. And he reminds me of my father. It is 9:59 p.m. June 29, 2021, Tuesday. Signing off. What? Yeah. Felt a little weirder now. Watch the 3 podcasts. It's going to be 10 p.m. We're going to sign off. At 10 p.m. we cut it. At 10 p.m. we cut this, man. Look at my computer. So check it out. 3 podcasts and 3 different, 2 more coming. We do music. We do stories. Yeah, 10 p.m. We do stories. Peace out. Thanks.